Hey everyone, this is Manny with Trident. This video is about what I can do for you and why you should choose me versus any other lender out there. First, I'm going to talk about me, a little bit of a backstory, then I'm going to talk about why you should choose me, and then lastly, what I can do for you, what I can provide. That way, when the time comes and you need somebody, you have full confidence that you made the right decision. So a little bit about me. My name is Emmanuel Reyna. I go by Manny Reyna. It's a name that was given to me early in my military career because Manny is easier to say than Emmanuel. I was in the Air Force for about 20 years. I retired this last November. I got to do a lot of really cool stuff in the military. I was able to fly on the C-130, do some combat airdrops. I was able to fly on the AC-130 and do what gunships do out there. And then I was able to round out my career and live the lavish life of flying around in the C-5. And that was a lot of fun, seeing different parts of the world that I hadn't seen before. When I was getting ready to retire, I was going to end up becoming a realtor, but a friend of mine pulled me aside and told me I should go the lending route and that I would be good at it. So I decided to give it a shot, looked into it, and here I am today. I'm a mortgage lender with Trident Home Loans, and that kind of brings into why did I choose Trident, but I'll get into that a little bit at the end, kind of give that story. So why should you choose me? So I have been kind of in the real estate game since about 2013. I was stationed in Arkansas. We had bought a home, and when I got orders to Florida, we chose to sell the home, and the house wasn't selling as fast as we wanted to, and so we ended up deciding to rent it out, and that decision ended up being a huge blessing. We rented it out, and then when I was in Florida, once we found that we had money coming in from that property, I started looking into real estate. And since then, I had bought a few more houses, and it was great. So what I can offer on that side of things is I can offer the perspective of a buyer, a seller, an investor, a landlord, and now I kind of was able to round it off, and I can give you the lender's perspective of things and kind of help you with that stuff. And I think having that experience and 10 years of experience in real estate at that point, it really gives me the perspective and the help to give you when it comes to like the negotiating of real estate property, especially if I can team up with a realtor, like I do with my realtor partners. We talk between us and the buyer, and we can really formulate a plan that's going to be the best course of action for them. So with that, what can I do for you? So the basics for sure. We offer all the same things that most of the other lenders would. So like a VA loan, a conventional loan, a FHA, a USDA, home equity lines of credit. So like all the basic things that are out there, we definitely offer them. And then we have some extra products out there that we can offer. Just, ask me about them, like DSCRs or things that are a little further out there, non-QM products. So we do have those available. You just need to reach out to me, and that's going to be a little kind of like one-on-one conversation about those. So my time as a mortgage loan originator isn't, it's shorter than most, but that's okay, because the position that I was put in within the company definitely gave me a lot of experience. So within the last year, I was able to work and bring probably about 200 to 300 loans to the closing table for the company, and then 30 of those being my own. And so for me, it was over 10 million in loan originations, which is pretty good for a first year. But because of the company and where they placed me, like I said, it definitely supercharged my experience, and which I'm really, really grateful for. And I think one of the most beneficial parts of that is because I see so many loans come in for the company and I kind of deal with them. I get a lot of like real-time experience and data as to what's working out there in the market and what the buyers are getting in the market, whether they're paying over asking or if they're getting the seller concessions. And a big push right now, because of where the market's at, has been like 2-1 buy downs. And we ended up getting quite a few people recently where the seller was able to give, a seller concession to pay for a 2-1 buy down for the buyer. And that's pretty huge. So I made another video on 2-1 buy downs. Check it out if you don't know what they are. And so it's been great, having that data and seeing what's working and being able to pass that on to the, other people that are looking to buy a home. A lot of times you'll see like realtors and stuff like that, they'll advertise that they are relocation specialists and stuff like that. And I feel like I've done a really good job of that like over the last year. I've been able to take, individuals that are PCS'ing from one state to another state, and because of the large network that has been kind of growing, I've been able to kind of take them and put them with a really good realtor in the area, whether it's one of our preferred partners or somebody that's become a part of my network, helping them get in there and take that like added stress off their plate of trying to find a realtor. Do they know they're going to be good? Do they know they're going to work? Things like that. So that's been really helpful. And because I did, I was in the Air Force and I did retire from the military, I'm able to, I know what it's like to PCS, and I know what it's like to pick up and move your entire family to a new state. So I understand those aspects from the military perspective. And then because I retired from the military, I know what it's like to retire and have to pick up your family and try to go to that final state that you're trying to move to try to line up the next job, to try to whether you're going to sell your home in your previous state or if you're going to keep it as a rental, and the little nuances of how that's going to affect the qualifications for your next loan. And it becomes a little trickier when you're trying to retire and you have a new job lined up and it's not the same job you had while you were in the military. So all of those different aspects, like airline pilots is another big example, when you're transitioning to the airlines, been able to help out a lot of airline pilots. So I think that's huge, and having that experience and being able to help, and having multiple reps of doing that in the past, it's something that I can definitely bring to the table in the future. And then, like I said, because I was in the military, I know what it's like to trying to come up with a budget, trying to make sure that you're maximizing your BAH and trying to get your BAH to cover your mortgage and potentially have some left over to pay a bill or two. I remember those times. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you and try to take some things off your plate and get you the best deal that you can get. You're my concern out there. So let's see, what's something else? Rates. So rates out there, they've been a little hairy over the course of this last year, but something that's always been true to that I've seen is Trident has always been one of the most competitive out there when it comes to rates. And I see this on a normal basis because you have individuals that are out there shopping and they have multiple lenders that they're pricing against each other. And, when I give a rate quote out there, generally the consensus is like, oh, wow, that's lower than I thought, or wow, that's lower than what the other lenders gave me. And at that point, that's when the other lenders will come in and they'll try to match the rate that we gave. And so we're always kind of like what other people are trying to match to try to save their own deal, if that makes sense. And that kind of goes into like why Trident. Since 2014 is kind of about when I was introduced to Trident, and that's when I was in those younger days. I was always trying to find like the absolute best rate. I was doing my due diligence and I was shopping for the best mortgage. And it was time and time again, anytime I would try to price Trident against other lenders, Trident always came out on top. And they always took really good care of me, and they always kind of went above and beyond. So when it came time to retire and I was looking for some place to land, I wanted to find a place that I knew took care of people and that did their absolute best to help, their military bros out there. And that's like a big piece of the job for me, is I like helping my military bros, and I like being able to educate, and I like being able to kind of teach. That was like a big piece of my military career, was like teaching. Throughout the whole thing, I always felt like I was teaching. And I think that's just the general way that you progress. You become really good at something, and then you have to teach it to the next generation. And that's kind of like, it really allows me to do that and teach individuals about mortgages and things that they didn't know about, or things that they didn't consider, and really try to get them the absolute best that I can that's out there. And so that's why I chose Trident, because it gives me the opportunity to do that. So thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, reach out anytime. I love talking mortgages, I love talking real estate, and I look forward to helping you out, hopefully. Thanks.